Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today you're watching Josh's Reptiles, and as you can see by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be showing you what's the best beginner reptile. So in today's video we're going to be telling you guys on what's the best beginner reptile or a gecko, and why you guys should also get a leopard gecko in my opinion. So overall, leopard geckos are pretty cool reptiles. They're pretty chill and they're not really hard to take care of. They don't really require a lot of lighting and complicated heating and enclosure wise and all these different kind of things. So I'm going to be giving you guys some reasons why leopard geckos make the best beginner reptile pets and reasons why you should also get a leopard gecko. Number one being is that leopard geckos, they are pretty low maintenance reptiles. They are obviously really simple to keep them, and they're also really popular in the reptile hobby. A lot of people keep them as pets, and so from keeping my leopard gecko, even for the short time and doing a lot of research online and watching videos on YouTube on how to look after leopard geckos, personally I think leopard geckos are the cutest geckos to begin with if you guys are new and getting into the reptile hobby like I was and I am. So, to begin with, honestly, I believe leopard geckos are the cutest geckos to begin with. If you guys are planning into getting into the reptile hobby, and they're honestly the best reptiles in my opinion to begin with, as they're pretty simple to take care of, and to me, I find them better than crested geckos. I've had crested geckos for a while, and I honestly think leopard geckos are the best, to be honest. And but tank wise, they only require a heat mat for heat, and their setup was pretty simple. In the background you can see I have substrate, a 3-foot wooden vivarium, I have a heated hive there, a piece of driftwood there, I have some hides and a water bowl in the tank, and most of the time my gecko will just walk around to explore its tank, and then it'll sleep for a while. It might also just rest in its hot hive for a while. And well, lighting, they don't really require a lot of lighting like UVB and all them kind of lamps and stuff, but you guys can just use normal lighting from your room, like natural sunlight that comes through the window. That lighting is the best for leopard geckos, because leopard geckos are also pretty sensitive. Of course, being with my male leopard gecko here, because he is a half albino. I believe he's a tremper male, and his eyes are pretty sensitive, so it's best to like not have a UVB bulb in its enclosure because its eyes are sensitive, and overall they don't really require a lot of lighting in your enclosure. One thing about leopard geckos is that if they drop their tail, they can also regenerate their tail, so which means they can also grow back their tail. And with crested geckos, once they drop the tail, it's never coming back. So this is a cool thing about leopard geckos, of them being able to regenerate their tails. And with housing leopard geckos, I probably would say you guys could keep them singular, or you guys can also keep two females together. If you guys are having multiple geckos, you can keep multiple females together, but never house two males in the same enclosure because they can start to fight and it's not good. Also, things to look out for if you guys are breeding your leopard geckos or planning to breed them is that you guys should probably keep your pairs separate until the breeding season comes back again. The breeding season runs roughly from January to around September, and leopard geckos are one of the species that breed the longest throughout the year. And it's really best to keep them separate, because then none of the geckos will have aggression towards each other. Even if you keep males or females together in the same enclosure and you guys think it's all going well, sometimes your male can also try to mate your female multiple times, because my male is a lot bigger than my female, and with leopard geckos in general, males intend to get bigger than females. but with most other reptiles and animals, females are generally bigger. So, also with feeding, leopard geckos eat a lot, and I'll feed my geckos maybe 3 or 4 times a week. My geckos are juveniles or sub-adults and they eat a lot, and what you guys can feed your leopard geckos can just be with crickets, roaches, mealworms, waxworms as treats, and calcium worms also, because they're also rich in calcium. And what I believe is the best food for my leopard geckos is just roaches and crickets. They're the main staple foods that I feed my leopard geckos, and you can feed your geckos like waxworms or hornworms, but mainly as treats. I would feed my gecko either waxworms or mealworms maybe once a week just as a treat. I feed them 2 or 3 when I'm going to feed them. And with leopard geckos, it's also cool because once you have them for a while, you guys can also take them out often and you can handle them, and you can also get to train your geckos just to be a lot more tame. And sometimes if you guys have geckos for a long time and you guys are trying to train them often, if you're lucky, sometimes your gecko can also come over to you when it's being called. Of course, things like this will take a pretty long time. If you guys are wanting to keep your gecko and wanting it to be all tamed, then I generally would say maybe to handle your gecko maybe twice a week. I'm just only my gecko for this video to just tell you guys all things about geckos and what is the best beginner reptile, as in my knowledge of being a reptile keeper. And of course, there are a lot more experienced reptile keepers out there and have a lot more maybe options on the best beginner gecko or all other sorts of reptiles. And generally, I believe leopard geckos are just the best, and the good thing about them is that they don't get too big, so that's the best about them. And with heating, I have a heat mat. It's 12 watts and it's not too hot and not too warm, and the temperature in the gecko's tank is around 85 degrees Fahrenheit, so which is perfect. And the lower side might be 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And with humidity and spraying your gecko's enclosure, it really depends on the substrate you guys have. With me, I just have the substrate here. It's also really popular in people that keep corn snakes and other reptiles. So if you guys are using coconut fiber or those kind of soil substrate, you guys can moisten your tank a lot. And generally with me, I just moisten the hides in the enclosure sometimes, or I'd also add some fake plants in and spray them down. But the thing about leopard geckos is that they don't really drink from a water bowl because they come from the desert and they don't really require so much water like crescent geckos, where you have to spray a crescent gecko tank maybe twice a day or 3 times a day, because crescent geckos are arboreal, which means they like to climb, and they will also lick water off leaves. And leopard geckos don't really require a lot of water, but you guys can also just maybe sometimes give your geckos water using a syringe. You can also just drop a little bit on its nose there and start to lick it off the syringe, and it'll drink the water. And in my opinion, leopard geckos, they also look really nice. As you can see the color, all leopard geckos have different colors and morphs, and pretty cute geckos. So overall, I really believe that leopard geckos are probably the best beginner reptiles and geckos for anyone who wants to be in reptile hobby, as these geckos are really simple to take care for. They're low maintenance. They need an enclosure that looks roughly like this, a 3-foot wooden vivarium, and I have some hides here, a water bowl there, a lamp, but you don't really need it. Then you can also have the thermometer at the back, which is 75 or 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's the hot hide there with the heat mat, as you can see inside. I also have a piece of driftwood here. Here's Gizmo, my male leopard gecko, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video on me telling you and explaining to you guys on how they're the best beginner reptile. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to share and comment down below for any questions you have. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.